Hello everyone and welcome to our weekly wrap-up of news stories that made the headlines. I'm Nicole Cordobes and you're watching the MB Rundown. Mayon Volcano's activity shows no sign of stopping as lava fountains and ash clouds continue, which could lead to a bigger eruption within days. Between 8:54 a.m. Tuesday to 3:57 a.m. Wednesday, Volcs recorded 5 episodes of intense but sporadic lava fountains from the summit crater lasting 7 minutes to 1 hour and 24 minutes. The lava fountains reached 500 meters to 600 meters high and generated ash plumes that reached 3 to 5 kilometers above the crater. More forced evacuations were done as the pyroclastic materials, which are more than 10 times hotter than boiling water, breached the 5-kilometer mark from the summit of the volcano. More than 60,000 people are now being forced to evacuate for safety. Volcs volcanologist Ed La Guerta said that based on their monitoring, the edifice of the Mayon is still inflated, which means that there is a pressure buildup inside the volcano. A total of 5 tremor events corresponding to lava fountain episodes, 3 episodes of pyroclastic density current generation from lava collapse, and numerous rockfall events were recorded by Mayon's seismic monitoring network. Amidst the uproar over a recognition given to her just 3 days ago, Presidential Communications Assistant Secretary Mocha Osan has returned the Tomasian Alumni in Government Service Award to the University of Santo Tomas Alumni Association Incorporated, or the UST-AAI. Osan said she hopes some Tomasians would finally stop bullying UST-AAI President Henry Tenedero about the award, also adding that critics should just bully and curse her instead. The uproar forced Tenedero to resign from his post last January 23. The controversial award was returned to the UST alumni group just before Uson joined President Rodrigo Duterte in his official visit to India. The UST Alumni Association earlier bestowed the award to Uson and several other government officials who are graduates of UST. The award was reportedly meant to challenge the recipients to live up to the Tomasian values while in public service. Some groups, including the UST Student Council, denounced Uson's award, saying she did not deserve the recognition for allegedly spreading fake news. The Supreme Court lifted on Tuesday its 2016 restraining order and allowed the LTO to release more than 700,000 license plates of motorcycles and motor vehicles in the country. In a full court resolution, the SC declared as constitutional the use of the appropriation under the Motor Vehicle Registration and Driver's Licensing Regulatory Services in the 2014 National Budget for the implementation of the Motor Vehicle License Plate Standardization Program, or the MVL-PSP for short. The program was awarded to the joint venture of Netherlands-based J. Nirim BV Ghost and Local Company Power Plates Development Concept in a contract signed on February 21, 2014. The program was for the period of July 2013 to June 2018 with a budget of 3.8 billion pesos for the procurement of license plates for about 5.2 million motor vehicles and around 9.9 million for motorcycles nationwide. The project involved adding safety features to license plates such as tamper-resistant locks and bolts and reflectorized sheeting. Beginning this year, all gasoline-powered tricycles, kuliglig, and pedicabs will be removed from the streets of Manila and replaced with environment-friendly electric tricycles, or e-Trikes for short. Mayor Joseph Erap Estrada confirmed the city government's plan to remove all 3-wheeled motorized vehicles from city streets. He also said that they want Manila to become known as a green city, clean, and without the noise of motorcycles. Estrada said the e-Trike is a 7-seater vehicle that can travel up to 80 kilometers in a single 4-hour charge. He also said that they will distribute 10,000 units of e-Trikes to qualified tricycle drivers from Manila. The e-Trike will be paid through a drive-to-own scheme, where the operator-driver will pay 150 pesos a day without interest and to be paid within a 4-year period. The city government has already distributed e-Trikes to a number of operator drivers in Binondo, Santa Cruz area, Malate, and Ermita. The city government will also set up pickup stations and 2 charging stations that will be made available to e-Trike operators. More e-trike stations will be installed in the University Belt area, Port area, and other major routes in the city. Mayor Estrada said that aside from being better for the environment, e-trikes will help increase the income of tricycle drivers. To avert a possible power shortage during the summer months, the Department of Energy has allowed power plants without certificates of compliance or COCs to operate and sell their capacity at the Wholesale Electricity Spot Market or WESM. The decision was anchored on Energy Secretary Alfonso G. Cusi's assurance that he will not allow any disruption in the country's power supply as a result of the delay in the processing of applications before the Energy Regulatory Commission or the ERC, including COC applications due to the suspension of its 4 commissioners. Before getting into commercial operations, power plants are required to be thoroughly assessed and validated in their technical compliance, as well as on parameters of cost recovery, because that will set the required level of reliability for the country's power system. Cusi said the move aims to protect electricity consumers by preventing disruptions in WESM transactions while the ERC issue is being sorted out. He added that the decision was arrived at in a resolution that was cemented by the Board of Directors of the Philippine Electricity Market Corporation, which is the operator of the electricity spot market. Disgraced former USA Gymnastics Dr. Larry Nazar was sentenced to 40 to 175 years in prison on Wednesday after a week of raw emotional testimony by scores of women he sexually abused for years under the guise of medical treatment. Minutes ahead of the sentencing, Nazar apologized in court to his victims, who included Olympic gold medalists but also scores of female athletes at Michigan State University where he worked. Judge Rosemary Aquilina scoffed at his apology and read from a letter in which Nazar, despite his guilty plea, once again claimed to have been providing legitimate medical treatment. Over the past week, around 160 women appeared in court or testified anonymously to the emotional pain they continue to experience because of the sexual abuse by Nazar. The slight bespectacled Nazar looked down or occasionally wiped his eyes with a tissue paper as woman after woman delivered gut-wrenching statements about the impact of his abuse. Already sentenced to 60 years in prison on federal child pornography charges, Nazar pleaded guilty to 10 counts of criminal sexual conduct. He was sentenced on Wednesday on 7 of those counts, with the final additional sentence to be handed down later this month. British singer and songwriter Ed Sheeran said on Saturday he is engaged to longtime friend Cherry Seaborn, whom he first met at school at the age of 11. Sheeran made the announcement in his Instagram account, saying that he got himself a fiancée just before New Year. Sheeran, who is 26 years old, and accountant Seaborn, who is 25 years old, were students in the same school in Eastern England and began dating in 2015. The ginger-haired Grammy winner has enjoyed a string of hits since his debut album Plus topped the UK charts in 2011 and reached number 5 in the United States. His single Shape of You was 2017's biggest-selling single in the UK, and Perfect, featuring Beyoncé, was Britain's Christmas number 1 last year. Seaborn, who is also a keen field hockey player, studied at Duke University in North Carolina and later worked in the Wall Street Financial District of New York before transferring back to England. A date for the wedding has yet to be announced. The Philippines continues to be a pageant powerhouse, with model and video jockey Caterina Rodriguez emerging as first runner-up at the Miss Intercontinental 2017 beauty pageant in Egypt last Wednesday. Veronia Salas Vallejo of Mexico was crowned Miss Intercontinental 2017. Rodriguez is the last of the reigning batch of Binibining Pilipinas 2017 beauty queens who competed in international pageants. Other Binibinis who won abroad were Elizabeth Clancy, who placed second runner-up in the Miss Grand International pageant, and Nelda Ibe, who placed first runner-up in Miss Globe. 24-year-old Rodriguez is a graduate of Business Management and Philosophy at the De La Salle University on Taft Avenue in Manila. Before she competed in pageants, Rodriguez was a familiar face on television as a runner-up in Asia's Next Top Model Cycle 2 back in 2014. She was also an MTV VJ and was under contract with Viva Artists Agency. A total of 68 candidates competed at the 46th Miss Intercontinental Beauty Pageant this year. And for this week's thought to ponder on, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. And that is by none other than Dr. Seuss. And that's it for this week's edition of the MB Rundown. I'm Nicole Cordovez. Have a great weekend.